And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, over to you.
Yes, you killed it. Anyways, hey, welcome to the Devyn Nekoda Show. I'm your host, BG. And this week on the show, we're talking about probably the best city in the world. Is that safe to say? Toronto?
Easily.
Ooh, not the side-eye from Calais. Anyways, more specifically, does Toronto have its own culture, or is the city just constantly posing? Then we get into your favorite things that have been discontinued, including iPods. We're looking at you. Do you miss those little things? Also, calling all you sneakerheads. This week, I sat down with Devyn Nekoda, one of the stars of the new Disney Plus film Sneakerella. Plus, we also have a Doing Too Much moment about an airplane passenger who saved the day. Dev, the story's crazy.
That's my worst nightmare.
That's a good tease. You gotta stick around until we get to that. But we need to do a few things like subscribing to this channel, tapping the notification bell, smash that like button, and don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. The details are in the description below. Alrighty, let's get into this hot topic. What is Toronto culture? Does Toronto even have a culture? And we're asking this question because the new movie Sneakerella premiered on the 13th, and it's set in New York, except guess where it was filmed? Here. In Toronto. Just like so many other shows though, like remember Suits? But if the city is always posing as something else, then what is the city actually then?
Toronto culture is Jamaican culture.
I just think it's so interesting because, you know, there's been a lot of conversation, especially on social media, where people have been saying that, you know, Toronto can sometimes feel a little bit mid for a big city, where it's like sometimes you don't get the authenticity, or sometimes it always feels like there's a replica of something else happening here compared to what's happening in other cities. Like Burns, for example, come over here. We were driving the other day and we were looking for a good radio station to listen to.
Yeah, good luck.
And we like R&B and hip hop and rap.
And a little Afrobeats.
A little Afrobeats. And what did we hear on the radio?
Listening to Toronto radio. Be like.
So trash. First 93.5. What happened to 93.5? 99.9. 103.5. 92.5.
Before T did not want nobody to see.
97.
So is that not giving mid?
The problem is that in Toronto, people in Toronto don't support people from Toronto.
Okay.
So it's really hard to put Toronto on the map when you have to leave Toronto to be put on the map. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm from Toronto.
But that's what so many people have talked about. But like they have to go somewhere else to make it. Then they get accepted by a different city, and then that's when Toronto finally accepts
Exactly.
them.
Right?
Why?
Like,
Why is that? though?
Because people only care about things in Canada if they're popular in the States. I've said it
no,
before,
it's
I'll die on
because
this
people
hill.
don't want to see you do better than them.
Or could it be both? I watched this TikTok the other day.
So I recently moved from Toronto to Calgary, and I want to make this video speaking about the nightlife differences. Now, number one, Toronto has the most clubs and bars, and it's a poppin' night scene, and it's definitely way bigger, but I don't know about better, and this is why. Because I've gone out a lot in Toronto when I was there, and I realized it's just one big giant flex. It's just everybody trying to flex on everybody. You know, we're going to get booths and bottles, and we're going to be wearing designer, and then the girls come in, and then all they care about is getting pictures and videos in the booths and showing that they're hot shit and whatever. And there's Lambos parked outside, nice cars parked outside all the clubs, so the big ballers are there. So it's just one big giant flex, and people aren't friendly or personable. You don't want to get to know nobody and all that stuff.
It's all about clout. It's the city of clout.
And doesn't that kind of take away from the authenticity of like what a city's supposed to feel like in terms of like a vibe?
Like in Toronto, like everybody wants to be doing their own thing and have their own thing. Like it's never, no one's sharing. That everyone has their own thing, everyone's in silos, and nobody should ever share anything with anyone because you can't be happy with other people.
That's a sad vibe if you can't, if everybody can't embrace each other. And you know what I think it is sometimes too? I think it's like some of the really cool, authentic, genuine vibes, you actually don't get a chance to experience it downtown. You have to go to like the suburbs, for
100%.
example. Like sometimes the best parties are in the banquet halls.
Banquet hall parties are not always the best parties.
I'm just saying, sometimes you get the most authentic vibe there, you know, without all of the other stuff. We also asked people on the streets about how they felt about Toronto culture. Hear what they had to say, run the tape. What do you think about the culture of Toronto?
I think it's okay, I think it's all right.
There's energy here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Compared to like what other cities?
I don't know, Ottawa.
I'm actually from Guelph, which is outside of Toronto.
Okay.
So I'm not a Torontonian.
Okay.
People would always say like, oh, what's up fam? Like, what you doing fam? I don't know. There's one like, oh, like let's link up was one that I was like, someone said this to me when I moved here and I was like, what do you mean? I felt so stupid. They're like, get together, link up, come on, fam, you know? Get it together, fam.
I think all the event keep in Toronto and all the party and, you know, like the bars, the restaurant, you know, like just the park, you know, like that's the vibe. They're all different culture, nationality. Yeah, I think that's what make it good.
A lot of people have said like Toronto has like this poser energy though sometimes. Like
yeah.
when you go out, people like they want to show that they're having fun, but they're not actually having fun. Have you ever experienced
Yeah, I can
that?
see that. A lot of people, like, you know, just make posts for their stories and all that, trying to show that they made it.
When it comes to the whole partying thing, people have like this idea of what it looks like to have fun and not actually like have fun. But I feel like I'm part of it now. Like I can get around. I know the TTC. Like I know the intersections over here.
So like as a white girl, like you feel like you can drop the fam on people?
No.
No, you don't think so? If I were to say name a distinct Toronto food, what would you come up with?
Oh my God, a distinct Toronto food? That's a hard question. I feel so bad. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, we're just trying to figure out like what is Toronto culture. You know, like when I say like you know, you think Halifax, you think Donaire. If I say Montreal, you would say food-wise.
Oh, I guess like poutine.
Right? So
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah, what's Toronto? That's a good question.
I don't know.
Maybe we're like more drink culture. We're like bottomless mimosas, like happy hour on a Friday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
like King Street, like let's hit it. You know?
Okay.
I'm from Jamaica.
Is it? But Toronto doesn't compare to Jamaica.
No, it doesn't compare to Jamaica, but
I'm a vibe. Everybody knows I'm a vibe.
That's the point. You bring the vibe.
He said, "Oh, we do bring the vibe. We do bring the vibe."
Bring the vibe.
If you know, you know, and if you don't, that's sad. Anyhow, let us know in the comments. Do you think Toronto has its own culture, or is this city lacking a vibe? Anyhow, going from one thing to another, have y'all heard about what's happening with the iPod?
R.I.P. little buddy.
So how do we feel about the iPod saying deuces?
I honestly didn't even know they still made them, so can't be that sad. However, with the iPod really came LimeWire. That's the real throwback because no one was paying $1.99 per song.
No one.
Right, you had to download it, save it as like the __ MP3 file.
And you had to hope that it was the right version too.
You had to hope.
You didn't ruin your entire computer.
You had to hope there was no viruses because then it's mom. It's not mom. I threw it up. It's mom. I ruined the computer.
You know, we're talking about this, and it gets me thinking. Like, what other things that have been discontinued that like do we miss? You know what I think? BBM.
Oh, what's your pin? That's Toronto culture. Yo, miss, can I get your pin?
That weird Toronto man accent. Yes, that's Toronto culture.
What do you miss, Burns?
I don't miss anything. I like change. I look forward to the future.
Oh, and yeah, we asked you on the streets, is there anything that you miss that has been discontinued? Here's what you had to say. Is there anything that's been discontinued in the past that you miss?
Canadian, no, but like Portuguese, because that's where I was born in Portugal. Oh my goodness, they had these like little baby foods, and you were allowed to bring it over to Canada, and the government was like, one day he's like, you bring it over to Canada, you're getting arrested. I'm like, okay, it's literally just like a small little packet of baby food, but okay. I personally miss, like as a music person, even though I still use Spotify, I miss like the unaltered headphones, like you plug them in, they are what they are. Now you get like wireless, they're expensive, they're like boosted bass, boosted this, boosted that, but then I don't know, that's not my style. I guess that's what I miss.
I actually don't even know the name of this plaza, but we literally come here all the time to get people's reactions to stories. But we're gonna put it to bed. We've come here enough. We're gonna find a new spot in the city. So long.
Black people.
Somewhere with a little bit more diversity, somewhere with a little bit more vibes, somewhere with a little bit more realness. Not saying that we didn't get that here, but we want more of that.
You want us to come to your neighborhood?
Oh, facts. If you want us to come to your neighborhood because you guys want to be featured on the show or you want to answer some of these questions, let us know where you're at in the comment section. We'll stop by. We have 4 wheels. Sometimes we got 8. We got that gas money. Budgets are increasing. Anyhow, so long, Plaza, that I no longer know your name of. It was a blast, and you did us well. So long, farewell to you, my friend. Goodbye for now. Devyn, I feel like you have a few things that you're definitely missing.
I do. I have 2 shows. How to Get Away with Murder
I heard that ended like well.
It did end really well, but I also could have taken another 6 seasons. And Insecure.
Did anybody watch Passions?
Yes.
Passions? Now
Yes.
that was a soap opera. I have a hard time saying goodbye, like closing the chapter on things. Anyhow, let us know if there's anything that got discontinued that you're missing right now. All right, now we're gonna switch things up. It's calling all sneakerheads. Kelly, that's you. What sneakers are you wearing today?
I'm not wearing sneakers today. It's dress season. If you wear sneakers with certain dresses, I am shaming you. You like Jordans with a tight dress?
Well, you could definitely be Sneakerella. All right, sneakerheads and Cinderella fans, I bet you never thought I'd call y'all at the same time, but a new Disney Plus film, Sneakerella, combines the classic Cinderella story with sneaker culture. And guess what? I got to sit down with Devyn Nekoda, one of the stars of the new film, to discuss what it was like filming in Toronto, her bonds with the other cast members, and some juicy info on her love life. We went there. All right, let's roll the tape.
Once upon a pair of sneakers, there lived a boy who was full of creativity.
You believe that sneakers are a window to the soul.
If you put enough of yourself into a design, it's gonna hit.
Devyn Nekoda, thanks so much for joining me here on the BG Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here with you.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you about Sneakerella because I'm low-key a sneakerhead, and I feel like this. Listen, like it's almost an addiction, and I don't know how to cure it. But
I don't think there's a cure for it. I think once you start, it's just you got to keep going.
Are you yourself a sneakerhead? And if not, did you become a sneakerhead doing this movie?
I don't think I'm at the point where I can call myself a sneakerhead yet. The collection is growing. I'm on my way.
Okay, well, I can't wait till it gets to like Epic, and then that way you can like show me photos and I can be like, yes.
I need like a display case or something.
I honestly feel like this movie is gonna blow up just because of the fact that like it has its cues from Cinderella, which we all loved, and it's like this really cool remake. So tell me and tell the audience a little bit about like why should they tune in and watch this movie?
What makes this so special is because we're pulling inspiration from that movie, of course, but it is it's an entirely unique movie on its own. Obviously, the characters are parallel to those in the classic and the original, but the modernized elements of dance and fashion and the music and then the little hints of magic, I think is what makes it really special.
How special was it for you to be a part of this movie and to play like the epic best friend Sammy? Like, what was that like for you?
I mean, first of all, like getting the audition and seeing that I'm auditioning to be in a modernized remake of Cinderella was crazy on its own, and I was just excited about that. And then reading about Sammy, she's that friend that everybody needs, and playing her was a dream.
What do you mean by the friend that everybody needs?
She's kind of Elle's backbone in the beginning of the movie, and she's an extremely loyal friend, and she's constantly pushing him to be the best version of himself possible. And I think you need those people in your corner because it's very easy, especially nowadays with social media and just everything that's going on in the world. It's easy to not put yourself out there and kind of suppress your talents and your feelings. And so I think everyone once in a while needs a little push of encouragement, which I think she did an amazing job at. So yeah.
Watching your career and as it continues to soar, like, do you have those friends in your life?
My two best friends, Addie and Romy, they're both actors as well. And I met Addie on set when I was 12, one of the first projects I ever did, and Romy a couple years later. And then they ended up filming something together, and we were like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I'm best friends with both of you, and now you guys are best friends, so let's all be best friends. And I think, we take turns like being that Sammy in the group. Like when one of us needs a push, you've got two other Sammys being like, you can do it.
You are very talented.
I just scribble in my notebook. I'm a stock boy.
I think I hear your stepfather talking.
This is the real world, not some doodle or some nonsense you're dreaming about.
So you're Canadian, I hear, right?
I am Canadian.
Where you from? Where you from?
So I was born in Mississauga, and then I moved to a town kind of just outside of Brantford a little bit. So I went to school in Brantford and I danced in Simcoe. I'm like all over the place.
No, I love to hear that because obviously for many people who are going to be watching this movie, I mean, it's set in New York, but it was filmed here in Ontario. And so like there are a lot of like iconic scenes that people might be able to like recognize, like, oh, I know that diner, or like, I know that shop. Like while you were filming, were there like any like really cool moments where you're like, oh, people are going to recognize that that spot is that spot in particular?
Oh yeah, totally. It was funny because we had to like obviously swap out all of the like street signs and everything, and then make it look like New York with all of these like VFX, like all these visual special effects that we had to put in afterwards. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
I'm sure you've been to New York multiple times. And, you know, not to stir up the tea, but you know I love to drink a little bit of tea here. But I mean, do you think like Toronto's a better city than New York?
Oh no. What are you doing to me?
I had to do it.
Okay. I think they're very, very different, and they're both amazing in their own separate ways. I think a lot of people though, they say like Toronto is like the New York of Canada. I love visiting New York. It is one of my favorite places in the entire world to visit, because it is just, it's just incredible. So I think maybe, you know, like if you're coming from somewhere else and you're coming to Toronto, like that would be pretty exciting too. But like, can you agree with me when you say like, you're from Toronto, I'm from Toronto, so we know about it, right? So it's not like New York.
You did a good job answering that. I just like to stir the pot just a little bit. A little bit.
I really gotta get out of here. Wait,
A curfew thing. What would become of his dreams?
My shoe!
Well, that would be its own kind of magic.
What was it like on set for you guys, by the way?
We had an amazing time. The entire cast, like, we're all so close, and I was spending the majority of my time with Chosen, and we just formed an incredible friendship, an incredible relationship during our time together.
Well, I love to hear that like you and Chosen like actually developed like that, can I say friendship, or was there anything more? I mean, you could tell me.
Friendship. But I honestly think like the relationship, and I think like it's so important too, if you have a friendship like Elle and Sammy, like a platonic friendship like that, I think even with anything, it's really important to create that friendship off screen first, because then it'll really translate onto the screen. And we just clicked immediately. We really bonded over music first and dance, and we just have a lot of similarities, which made it really easy to play Elle and Sammy together.
You did bring up music. So I have to ask you, who is on your playlist? Give me your top 5.
Drake, Kanye, Jack Harlow, Travis Scott.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I need I need one more. SZA.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, you're speaking my language. You're literally speaking my language. Every artist you name, I'm like, okay, she's a vibe. Devyn is a vibe.
I love it. Yeah, no, Chosen and I Chosen would always have like his AirPods in like 24/7 whenever we would cut, like it was AirPod in, and then he would like start to give me an AirPod, and then he's like, why don't you connect this time? And I'm like, okay. And I connected, and I played I think I played Madonna by Drake, which is like kind of older. And he looked at me and he was like, you like this song? And I'm like, you like this song? And it was like, it literally from there, it was like, boom, that's our friendship in a nutshell. It was great.
So who do you think would win the Ox battle? You or Chosen?
He might be mad at me if I said me. I don't know. You know what? No, I'll give it to him. He did take Ox a lot of the time wherever we were, so it's his forte.
Devyn, you are so pleasant. You are so Canadian. I am so happy for you. But thank you so much for joining me on the BG Show. And I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Her music list was actually really, really good. Like, she had some good artists on her music list.
Well.
And she's an Ontario gal. So Sneakerella, by the way, is now streaming on Disney+. Make sure to go check it out. All right, who's ready for doing too much?
Me.
Because this entire show is doing too much. This literally is some people's worst nightmare, and it literally could happen only in, guess where?
Florida.
So he was minding his own business, sitting on a plane flying from the Bahamas to Florida, when the pilot reportedly, listen to this, suffered a medical episode and passed out. So the passenger contacts air traffic control for help, telling them he has no clue where the plane was and had no idea how to fly it.
I've got a serious situation here. My pilot has gone incoherent. I have no idea how to fly the airplane.
So it took them about 4 minutes to locate the plane, and it was located on the coast of Florida.
Number 333 Lima Delta, Roger. What's your position? I have no idea. I can see the coast of Florida in front of me, and I have no idea.
Fortunately, they were able to talk him through on how to process landing the plane, and he did it by himself safely.
Number 3 Lima Delta, no problem. Just continue to stay wings level, maintain 5,000, and follow the coast, and we're going to try to find you here on the radar.
You say the passengers landed the airplane? That's correct. Oh my gosh, yeah, no, great job. No flying experience.
We really do hope the pilot is okay.
No, honestly, we really do. You do. Okay, so let's wrap this up, and as we go say a prayer for the pilot, we also want to say a prayer for the viewers and say a prayer for our team. And make sure that you know that you can catch us every single week. Don't forget, News News drops every Tuesday and Friday and throughout the week, and we'll be back same time, same place next week. Oh, a reminder to let them know what they can do.
Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, tap the notification bell, follow us across all of our social media, and if you don't, let us know how you got here.
We love you for watching. Hey BG Squad, thanks so much for checking out our channel, and listen to this, we have more great content for you, like this video right here and this video right here. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now and tap that notification bell.